Hello, teachers and school leaders. Welcome to this webinar facilitated by Learning, Design, and our curriculum experts. My name is Poonam, and I am joined by Shalini Nair. We are the host for today's webinar. Before we get started, a few housekeeping norms for the webinar. All participants have been placed on mute and except for the presenters, cameras will remain closed. This helps in reducing distractions. In case you have any queries or concerns, please put them in the chat. We will answer them in the chat itself. If the query is related to the content covered in the webinar, our facilitators will answer them during or at the end of the webinar. We are trying to maintain a high level of network connectivity. If we face any glitch, we will keep you informed. If you face any disturbance in audio or video, please check the internet connection at your
Poonam, Poonam, I'm afraid your voice is breaking a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, better now.
Shall I say
Yes,
this?
please continue. Please continue.
Okay. Many times logging out and logging back in solves the issue. At the end of the webinar, you will receive a feedback form. Kindly take a few minutes to complete the same. Your feedback will help to enhance the quality of the webinars and the workshops we prepare for you. Once the feedback is submitted, you will receive the certificate of participation in your registered email inbox. You have been present in the webinar for a minimum of 60 minutes to be eligible to receive the certificate. I repeat, you must have been present in the webinar for a minimum of 60 minutes to be eligible to receive the certificate. Today's webinar aims to give us an insight about our pre-primary activity kit, which you might have already received in the school. And to facilitate this session, we have with us Ms. Deepa Chabra. She is the head of integrated services at OUP India. And she works at the learning design and curriculum expert at the OUPI. Thank you. And over to you, Deepa ma'am. Okay, we have
Thank
Sparsh
you.
also. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Uh, Hello, Sparsh. Welcome to the webinar. Sparsh is also working in coordination with Deepa ma'am, and he is also the part of the integrated services team. Thank you, Sparsh, for joining. So, over to you to Sparsh and Deepa ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you, Shalini. And I'm glad that so many teachers have joined us today. Very, very good evening to all the teachers, those who have joined this afternoon, and they have taken out the time to attend this webinar and learn about our activity kit. I'm Deepa. I head integrated services at OUP India, and it's my honor and privilege to be able to present my activity kit in front of all of you. So, to begin with, while I share my screen, I don't have much GAN to give you, but I will showcase my kit today. Largely, this will be show and tell kind of a session today. But before I jump into that, while I share my screen, I request all of you, first of all, to tell me, I know your profession is teaching. What is the profession of your students of kindergarten? Please answer me in the chat box. What is the what is the occupation of your students of kindergarten? Smriti ma'am, yes, we do have magnetic board in the kit. Please hold on for a while. I will showcase. There was a question from Smriti ma'am, so I answered that. Okay. They are learners. Okay. Again, think about it. What is the occupation? What your students want to do, or what do they do whole time? Fun learning. Somebody said playing. Neha, ma'am, you're very close. Active is not an occupation. Play and learn. Learn is given by us, teachers. They only play. I think so. Okay. So they only play. Okay.
Someone said exploring,
Exploring. Okay.
discover.
Okay. Good. Mm.
Playing, explorer, listening, coloring,
Mm-hmm.
play and observe. Shreya ma'am said play and observe.
Okay. Um,
Entire screen.
mm.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. All right. Before, as I said, before I start demonstrating, we need to understand why do we, first of all, need an activity kit. As you rightly pointed out, and the right answer to my first question, which I asked, that what is the occupation of your students of kindergarten, is play. Okay, they love to play. They only love to play. We have added this word of learn also along with them, but they don't come to school to learn. They only come. They look forward to play. They look forward to doing activities with their peers and teachers. That's what all they understand. Now while playing, if you are able to teach them something and they are able to learn something, that's a bonus. So their occupation is clearly play. That's what NCF also said. If you see an excerpt from the NCF, it's not Deepa who's saying. NCF says play is the child's work. Play by its very nature is something young children like to do and actively engage in. That is the reason that all experts since ages they have been saying play based learning is the best method to teach in kindergarten or in pre-primary classes. Okay, therefore, why do we need an activity kit? Because it aligns with the NCF's emphasis on play based experiential learning. It also converts passive learning into active or hands on exploration. Now, what kind of learners do you have in the classroom? What are the three types of learners that you have in the classroom? Can you put your answers in the chat box? And the hint is in the second sentence that I just read in the reasons of why do we need an activity kit. I'm telling you a cue to answer also, but you have to mention what are the three kinds of learners that you have in your classroom. What are the answers coming, Sparsh?
So the answers are higher kinesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
activity based. Three types of learners there.
Three types of learners, but what
fast
are those?
learners?
Fast
Ignore me,
learners.
Fast learners.
Okay.
Visual learner, slow learners.
Okay. Visual learner is good. Okay. Somebody,
Active
whoever said
learners.
visual learner, please
Auditory
now,
learner.
weave into the same thing. One is visual. Second is,
Physical based learners.
okay, that is called kinesthetic
Kinesthetic.
learners. Okay. Physical based means kinesthetic learners. And the third one is obviously auditory learners.
Hmm.
So we have three kinds of learners in our classrooms. We have visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners. Now, visual is when you show them something, maybe on the board, on the smart board, they look at it and they absorb that. Okay. Auditory learners means obviously they listen to the teacher and they learn. And kinesthetic means when you give them something in the hands to explore or to do something on their own, which takes them to become which takes them on a journey to become independent learner, right? So those are the kind of activities. There you say that okay, these are kinesthetic learners. So is it that all children they are hardcore either visual or auditory or kinesthetic? The answer is no. Okay, all of us we are mixed of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners, kinesthetic learning styles. All makes a difference is that I could be learning maybe 50% through kinesthetic, 30% through visual, and 20% through auditory experiences. And in maybe Sparsh's case, it could be vice versa. He would be learning probably 50% by visual means, 20% by kinesthetic means, and maybe another 30% by, let's say, auditory means. So this ratio can be different in each student's case. That is why we say that each child is unique and different. Okay. Now, for visual stimulation, we have smart boards in the classroom. We have blackboards in the classroom. Visually, students get stimulated also from their immediate environment, from the displays in the classroom, from the furniture in the classroom, from the nature, from the playground, from the slides in the playground. Everything visually stimulates them. Then auditory is when you sing the song, or when you tell them a story. These are the things which gives them a good auditory experience, and they pick up from that. And obviously the third experience needs a something structured, wherein you give them age appropriate toys or manipulatives so that they can learn. Now you tell me, for let's say a pre-primary child who is 3 years old, if you allow them to touch and explore every single thing under the sun, for example, if they pick up a pair of scissors, would it be safe for them? No. That means you will have to structure this. You will have to make your environment in such a way that they touch and explore the things which are useful for them, which are age appropriate for them, which are safe for them, and which helps them in picking up the age appropriate concepts, which help them in understanding three basic things. What are three basic things that we focus in pre-primary? Literacy, numeracy, environment. These are the three things that we want to focus, right? You say you want to teach them letters, you want to teach them numbers, you also want to teach them the world around them, starting from self to the world. So that is why we have themes in Oxford Advantage curriculum. Therefore, you need to provide them a structured, kinesthetic experiences, which wherein our activity kit comes very, very handy. I have talked about this, that it builds foundational skills through structured play, and of course it makes learning joyful, meaningful, child-centric, etc. So what do we have in our kits? The Oxford Advantage activity kit, basically we have kits for beginner, level 1, level 2. We usually give in the ratio of 40:1. Typically, this is for one section, one kit typically. And also the material which is there in beginner and level 1 and level 2 would be slightly different. There would be few things which would be common. I will show you the common things, and there would be then certain things which would be age specific, which would be specific to the curriculum of, let's say, level 2. In beginner, you don't learn spellings. Therefore, you don't need any tool or any manipulative to learn the CBC words. But in level 2, you would need that. Therefore, they're designed in that way. Second thing is, of course, they are play-based manipulatives designed to support the Oxford Advantage curriculum. Whatever we have put it in books, whatever activities we have given in our teacher's manual, they are supported. I mean, if you use the activity kit, your lesson plans will come alive in the classrooms. And it is developmentally appropriate materials, we have used. I will show you how. And it is, of course, designed with care and child-safe materials to ensure maximum safety of the kids. So here we go. Without further ado, what I will do is I will start showcasing the activity kit in real in front of you. Show me the box first. The whole box. So you might have received this kind of an activity kit. or you will receive it soon if you have not received. Some schools are in the process of receiving the kits, and some might have already received. Now, this was the level 1 kit. Every kit is designed for a different class. As I said, for a beginner a different, and level 1 and level 2. Now, all 3 kits have something in common. There are few things which are common right now. When we were starting the webinar, one of the teachers, she asked that please include a magnetic board in the kit. Here is your magnetic board. Okay, so this is a magnetic board. You can also, if you want, you can add a clip behind it, and you probably can hang it in your classroom on the board. That also you can do. Or if you want to keep it, just with you and use it to display certain things, that is also okay. Now, this magnetic board you will get in beginner, level 1, level 2. This is a common thing. Now, what else is common? You will tell me who is this character and when do we use it. Okay. Okay. Meet our first character. Who's this? Can you please type its name in the chat box? I'll wait for your responses. And when do we use it? Yes, you had it in the last year also. Yes, Madhvi ma'am, you're right. This is Finny. Yes, we're getting a lot of responses. Finny for maths. Correct. So Finny is a dolphin. The moment you teach numeracy in the classroom, which is mathematics, you bring Finny in the classroom and say, hello, everyone. The moment children see Finny, they say, oh, it's time to learn numbers. You will get Finny in every activity kit. Beginners, level 1, level 2, because Finny is our math kit for maths. Next. Who's this? You'll have to tell me the name now. What is the name of this character? This math kit? I'm not going to tell. Let me see how many teachers know. Now this one. This is not Finny. Yes, Darshana ma'am, this is Lily. You're the first one to answer this. Absolutely. This is Lily. What do we teach when Lily comes in the class? Lily for what? Which subject? What do we teach? General awareness. Correct. Yes. So when you teach about general awareness, then Lily comes, and Lily comes and say, hello, everyone. It's time to learn about the environment. Come on, join me, right? So this is also a common element in all the grades. Now, who's this? If I would be teacher, I would come like this. Hello, everyone. Meet me. I am Inky. Yes, this is Inky for English. Tulsi ma'am, you're correct. So Inky is an octopus. Okay. And this octopus help us learn literacy. That's English. Okay. So hello, everyone. I am Inky. Inky for English. This is a common thing in all the kits. Now, what do we focus when we design this activity? Thank you for your responses, overwhelming responses, I would say. I was coming back to this. When we design the activity kit, what are the things that we thought of, focusing on? I had very clear direction from the NEP, and NEP said focus on foundational literacy, numeracy, and environment. Okay, we said, okay, we will do that. So first, whatever you are doing in literacy, you should have some manipulatives for that. Then if you have some, whenever you're teaching numeracy, you have some manipulatives for that. And then related to each theme, you should have something or the other for students to touch and explore. Okay, that's how we design. So it is not randomly put in, focusing on literacy, numeracy, and themes. Can you repeat what are the 3 things that we focus while we design the activity kit? What are the 3 things? Literacy, numeracy, Nishad. Nishat ma'am. Nishat ma'am, excellent. You're the first one to answer this. Excellent. So foundational literacy, numeracy, and environment. These are the three things that we will focus using this. Now, पहले देखते हैं. For example, this is level 1. I will explain and showcase two complete kits, level 1 and level 2. Beginner usually have these elements only. So this magnetic board we will use. For example, if I'm going to introduce the letters, what I will do is I will use my magnetic letters and put them here. Whichever letter I'm going to introduce in the classroom, I can paste it on the magnetic board, help children see its shape clearly. They can touch, they can put it back also. You can also do it in groups, that also, or you may invite the students near your table, let them touch and explore and then go back. Okay, so this is, for example, you are teaching them letters in level 1. So that's how you will introduce the letters. Okay, now second is, for example, this was level 1, because level 1 you teach them letters. So I gave you the example of letters. Now we'll come to numbers. In numbers, the most important thing is the association between number and quantity. Tell me what is more. Okay. How many are these? You'll have to tell me. Okay. When you introduce the concept of grouping and tens, how do they know 24, which number is bigger, 24 or 32? How do you make them, associate with the number quantity? Okay, number and quantity. So I, as a kindergarten child, I might say maybe this, 24 or more. But when you represent it visually and you say 110, 210, and then 4 units make 24. But these are 110, 210, 3 tens, and 32. Now they'll be able to make out very clearly and say 32 is a greater number, 32 is more than 24. So this helps you build number quantity association. Okay. Yes, 32 is bigger. I know teachers know this, right? But this is for the students. How do you explain it to the students? How do you visually represent this? So in beginner, you have maths. For maths, you have Ganit Mala. In level 1, you have these, tens and units, which you can represent, because you are also teaching them grouping for the first time. Okay, so till 50 you cover the numbers. Therefore, you have these kind of numbers representation. You can have it on the board, and you can change the examples also, and then keep on doing various combinations and see what are the answers like. Okay, do that. Yes, you can also do count and write using this. So this was about literacy and numeracy. Now coming back to, let's say, theme 1. In theme 1, level 1, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to teach them the shapes and colors. Okay, we have already done basic shapes in beginner. So in level 1 this year, we have brought new shapes. Which shape is this and what color? Because we are doing new shapes and the secondary colors. Primary colors we've done in beginner. So 4 basic shapes and primary colors we have done in beginner. Now the secondary colors and probably the new shapes is what we will do in theme 1 of level 1. Okay, so that's how. Yes, thank you for recognizing all the shapes correctly. And this is how you make them identify the shapes. When they touch them concretely, when they feel them, they are very safe. They are made up of hard sponge, so they're not going to hurt also children. They're absolutely safe. Okay, and that's how by you can give them a tactile experience to the children, and you use this manipulative for the theme 1. Now coming to theme 2. What is the theme 2? You will tell me the name of theme 2. Theme 2. What is the name of theme 2 in level 1? Come on, tell me, what is the name of the theme 2? I will show you then only. Yes, this is shapes, oval, star, diamond, heart. Correct. This is all. Yay, Sonali ma'am first. All about me is the theme 2. Very good. So what do we have for theme 2? For theme 2, we have these lovely puppets. When you introduce the family, you say, he's daddy and she's mama. He's my daddy and she's my mama. Okay. And probably you can say, oh, this is my little sister who plays with me in the park. Okay. I also have a pet in my house. So his name is Rolo Rabbit. And let's say my grandfather lives with me. So let me put grandfather also here in my thumbkin, and I will showcase it and say, he is my grandfather. So I have a grandfather, father, mother, sister, and a pet. Can you sing a family song using the family, finger puppets? Of course, you can do that. There is a family song in the theme book. Do that, okay? And sing a song using these puppets. Let children come closer to these puppets. Let them pick one by one or give them in turns. Let them touch it. Let them wear it and let them sing songs. This will also again give them a kinesthetic experience and a very relatable personal experience. And they might pick up, oh, I have a grandmother. Ma'am, do you have a grandmother's puppet? Oh, yes, I have a grandmother's puppet. So you can put grandmother's puppet also in the finger, right? So this is how you can engage it with the children while using the all about me. They are packed in nicely, neat box, and everything is labeled here. Okay, you just need to open up the box for a particular theme and then you can start teaching. Now, what do we have for theme 3 in level 1? So what is the name of theme 3? Who's going to tell? Let me see. What is the name of theme 3 in level 1? Animals? Yes, animals. So we have this big, non-tearable paper we have. We call them as NTR sheets, non-tearable basically. And they are safe. The corners are rounded. They are not sharp. Okay. Plants and animals is the name of third theme in level 2. In level 1, it is only animals. Okay. Right?
In level 1,
only animals. Yes. And in level 2, it is plants and animals. Now, you have NTR sheets. It has its Velcro points. So if it is farm animals, there are cutouts which are given. So if it is a farm animal, I will stick it here. That's the manipulative, and that's how you have to do. Now, next is you have, let's say, wild animals. I got a lion from Sparsh. So I'm going to put it here that, okay, lion sits here, maybe near water in the jungle. Is a wild animal. Okay. And then you turn. Then you also have next I got a parrot. So where does a parrot live? Parrot lives on the tree, let's say. Okay. And then I have a fish. And where do I put fish? I put fish in the water since it's a water animal. So there are a lot of other, cutouts that children can pick up one by one and match them with their respective habitats or what kind of animal they are. They put up on this NTR sheet. So this helps in understanding the concept and also gives them a tactile experience. Also, they feel as if they are playing. Okay, so learning has to be disguised in play. When you teach kindergarten children, when you teach pre-primary children, a pre-primary teacher has to be total drama queen, unapologetically, so that your children learn the best from you. Okay, yes. Now moving on to theme 4. Which is the theme 4? Tell me. Theme 4, name of theme 4. Come on. What is the name of theme 4? Food. Somebody said, रुको रुको मैं देखती हूँ सबसे पहले किसने बोला है. Oh, your names just flash by. I'm sorry, I could not notice who said it first, but whoever said that, that's really amazing. So yes, the name of the theme, 4th theme is food. So we have fruits, we have vegetables. If you want to teach them the classification between healthy food items or unhealthy food items, you have all the items and the Velcro points. Okay. And similar way, using the NTR sheet, you can teach them the classification between the fruits and vegetables and also between healthy and unhealthy food items. So this is your theme 4. What do we have for theme 5? We have for theme 5. What is the name of theme 5? Come on. What is going on currently in most of the schools? Theme 1 was shapes and colors. Meghna ma'am, theme 1 was shapes and colors. Yes, theme 5 is holiday. Yes, right now also what is going on? Holidays are going on, okay? So what we will do is, so there is an NTR sheet. It says land vehicles, then it says air vehicles, and it says water vehicles. And you have a lot of, these cutouts. So this is a rocket. Where do I place? I place it under, let's say, air vehicles, and I paste it here. Similar way, they will learn to classify, segregate, sort, play, and still learn, right? So this was about theme 5. Now this is my favorite. But before I show you my favorite, you have to tell me what is the name of the theme 6 in level 1. What is the name of theme 6? Weather. Okay, weather is the last theme. Smriti ma'am says correct. So what kind of clothes this girl is wearing and what kind of weather this is? Can you tell me? Which weather this girl's dress is, representing? Can you tell me? Yes? Which weather she is representing? Come on. Summer, of course. How come winter? She's wearing a frock. Winter आपको दिखाते हैं. Okay? So, how about this? Isn't this winter? Wearing a cap, wearing a sweater. Now, can you see the difference between this and this? This is summer and this is winter. Yeah? Okay. You can give names to these characters. You can also give them these, characters. You can basically, open them and give it to them as a puzzle. So when, let's say I have given them now incomplete, okay? So they will match it. They will use their brains, okay? And this is tactile also. This is good for their fine motor nerves also. And that's how they do it, okay? Right? So now they will basically it's a cognitive exercise also. It's a problem solving also. So one manipulative can teach them so many things. If you make them sit in the group of 4 or 5 students, give them this one set, open all of them, and then they will sort and they will try to match, and they will also be able to identify the weather and probably fix them. Basically, it becomes a 6-piece, 7-piece puzzle also for them. So that's how theme 6 works. So this was about level 1. Now we will go to level 2. Okay. So I'll show you a few materials from the from theme. No, not from the theme, from level 2. So in level 2, first we will talk about the literacy part. Okay. In level 2, we will start teaching them CVC words towards the end. We will also, no, not towards the end, from the beginning itself rather. Give me that spinner. So you have something like this. Okay. So it says HOP, hop. SIT, sit. Okay. Say hop, hop. Okay. Similarly, you can pick up more letters. Let's say a, and I'll put, let's say, maybe I'm trying to make a spelling. Do we have a P, letter P? Okay. Is it? No. Okay, I'll make nag. Okay. Say nag. So this is how you teach them spellings also. Okay, hi, you can make nap also. I was trying to find ma'am only letter P, but I could not find. That's fine. So I made it nag. Okay. You can also teach them nonsical words as well. That is also perfectly all right. The idea is to join the sounds, and then the idea is to make them join the sounds and teach them how do we combine the sounds. I am pretty audible, I guess so. Please check your internet connection. This year, even for level 1, family words are introduced. So do we have the facility for this level 2? In level 1, you have introduced it towards the end. You can use the letters because we have given you the same small letters, and use the magnetic board to teach them. Okay. That's how you can do it in level 1 also. Madhvi ma'am, I hope I answered your question. So this is for specifically for level 2. One tool to teach them CVC words. Now the second one is we have, we have this word spinner. Okay. Okay, we have a word spinner. So what you do is, for example, if I'm going to do family words, so I'll put a pin to this. Okay. And oops. Yeah. You put a pin here and then you rotate this. For example, you say SAT, you say SAT. Sorry, you will be able to see, probably the reflection is reverse when you see in your mobile, but basically it is correct. When you say, let's say SET, set, or you say we and ed, that's what, and ed becomes Ved. Maybe you have a child in class whose name is Ved and you can read it like this. So that's how you use the word spinner. You keep rotating. You can also, there are so many, these family words are there. Whichever you are teaching in the class, replace it with that and just put a pin and then ask them to keep on reading using this. Okay. Just you might have to fix the pin like this and then rotate it like this. Okay. So that's how your family word family spinner works in level 2. Now, this was for literacy. So we had two things for literacy in level 2. One was the CVC letter and this one was the spinner. Okay. Now, what do we have for numeracy in level 2? So in level 2, you also introduce the concept of 100. So you have a full frame of 100. If you want to tell them how many tens make 100, so you have 10 rods of tens and then 100. So it's a very good comparison. And then, small units in the form of each unit is a ones. Each small unit represents ones. I just showed you, this is not open, but I showed you the open version of it when I was showcasing the level 1. So this is completely aligned with your syllabus because in level 2, you're covering numbers till 100. Therefore, you are doing it. Yeah, here we have given till 100. So this is for numbers in level 2. Now, what do we teach in level 2? Theme 1. Remember in level 1, we did diamond, oval, star, and heart shape.
Now, which shapes we are going to do here in level 2? We are going to teach them 3D shapes in level 2. So this is in progression also. In beginner, you teach them 4 basic shapes: circle, square, triangle, rectangle. In level 1, you do heart, diamond, star, oval. And in level 2, you teach them 3D shapes. Now, um, let's see what comes out of this. Tell me the name of this shape. Which shape is this? Yes, those were plain shapes, and now these are 3D shapes. Solid shapes. Yes. What is this shape called? This is not cuboid. This one, cylinder. Yes, correct. Samruddhi ma'am, सही बताया आपने. Cylindrical shape. So next you have a cube. Okay. Now this is cube. One common mistake many kindergarten teachers they do. They show them a ball and tell them it's a circle. Ball is not a circle, teachers. Ball is spherical. It's a 3D shape. You have to tell them in level 2. When you show them in beginner, that's a 2D, right? Plain shape. And that is, for example, like a bangle. Okay, that's a 2D shape. That's a circle. This one is sphere. So you have to tell them the difference between a circle and a sphere in level 2. Okay, then you also tell them what is this? It's a cone. Then never ever. Now what do we mix or confuse cone with? Many times we show them the birthday cap and say this is triangle. That's not correct. That is not correct. Okay, so cone is 3D. It has a base, but triangle is 2D. You all know it, right? And then we have and then we have a cuboid, which is the 3D version of rectangle, of course. If you see one side of it, it's rectangle, but when you see 3D version of it, it's a cuboid. So you introduce the 3D shapes in level 2. So this was theme 1 of level 2. Let's see what do we have in theme 2. So the theme 2 is all about me. You told me that already. So this is all about me. So here we are going to talk about the sense organs, okay? Because children are now growing up. Other than the body parts, they can also talk about sense organs. So what do they do? With tongue, they can taste, okay? So they can taste a lemon probably. I have now next cutout is, let's say, I have next cutout is bell. So from where do we listen bell? Using our ears. So I'll put here. Then you have headphones. I'll put again here. Then you have a rainbow. Rainbow, what do? Rainbow you see using your eyes. So you put it here. So that's how you complete it. Basically, the identification of these sense organs and also what you can do using your sense organs. So that's the activity that you do in theme 2, which is all about me. Now, progressing towards theme 3, what do we get from animals and matching animals with their homes? Sparsh has already helped me. He's already matched quite a few things. For example, sheep, sheep gives us wool, and bee probably gives us honey. So I put it here. And then you have cow gives me milk. So that's how you put it here. Okay. So you basically teach them these concepts of what do we get from each animal, where do they live, using these NTR sheets. These are manipulatives. They help them think. They help in problem solving. They also learn their concepts in a better way. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am, for cheering me up. And the next theme is, theme 4. Theme 4 is my favorite. I love to eat all the time. Every 3 hours, I feel hungry. So do my children. Therefore, The next theme is food. So what do we do in food? Can you give me the magnetic board, Sparsh? So in theme 4, we have magnetic cutouts. These are very good quality magnetic cutouts. You can paste them on the magnetic board and show them. For example, today I want to introduce fruits. So I'll paste them here, help them identify the fruits and just, talk about it. Now I can also segregate fruits and let's say vegetables. Which vegetable is this? Can you recognize from the camera? Okay, you will get 5 points from me if you write the name of this vegetable in the chat box. Let me see if you are with me. Which vegetable is this? Again, okay, I'll bring it to the focus to make it easy for you. This cooked vegetable, of course. Which vegetable? Okra, correct. Lady's finger, yeah, okra or lady's finger, whatever you call. Then you have also, you can also teach them the concept of whether it is healthy or unhealthy. So, for example, all children love to eat, fries, but you got to tell them if this is healthy or not. So, you know what? Parents also seek support from us, yani teachers, that please tell my children not to eat so much of junk food. Yeah, I mean, of course, environment at home will really, affect their choices. But I'm saying as teacher, when I was a kindergarten teacher, I was always, instructed by the set of parents that please ma'am isko samjhao na not to eat junk food. So I would cook a story in the classroom, tell them what happens when you eat junk food, or should you eat, junk food? If yes, how much, or what is the frequency? Can we set some rules around junk food? So there is a lot that you can do when you tell them about, what is this? These are fries, your favorite, we agree. But what happens when you eat this? Okay, what happens to your body? Does your stomach also like, or only tongue likes it? You can talk about these things. Then you have favorite ice cream. But how much ice cream one should eat? Once a week, once a month, every day? What should be the frequency? It's a healthy or unhealthy? There is endless talk that you can have in the classroom. And on the other hand, children can touch it, feel it also. Then you can talk about beverages. This is tea. My mama's favorite beverage is tea. Probably they might come and tell you. This is salad, my father's favorite food. Then they might come and say and tell you, this is milk. I drink milk every day. So help them make some sentences also while you are demonstrating. So, okay, whatever I put up on the board, you have to say a sentence in English. Okay, for example, you can say this kind of a thing also in the classroom and help them develop their language. So you can always mix 2-3 things. So when children bring chapati in their tiffin box, they always say, I have brought 1 round chapati. Believe me, if they are talking like this, they are going to be the great mathematicians, okay, later. So please encourage maths talk also in the classroom, even though you are teaching the theme food. So, you have brought 2 chapatis, round shape. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now how many bowls of nuts are these? These are 4 bowls of nuts. Are nuts healthy? Yes, they are healthy. But should you eat them a bowl full? Probably not. Okay. Okay, Meghna ma'am, if you like chapati, I also like chapati. I'm having a glass of milk, correct? Yes. These kind of things, children can talk. Yes. All right. So these are the things you will talk when you will demonstrate in the classroom. Now the next theme is holiday, my favorite. Okay, I love holidays. I will ask OUP people to give me more holidays so that I can go somewhere with my family and explore. So this is for the holiday theme. Oh, this is already giving me such a good vibe. So this is talking about rail, road, water. So let's see what I have, or maybe air also. Okay, so I have air. Let's say I put rocket here. Then I have airplane. I'll put it here. Oh, it should be in the other direction. It's going up. Then I have a helicopter.
Okay. Then I have a train, chuk, chuk, chuk. Then I have an auto that runs on road. I take auto while going back. Then there is a ship. Then there is a yacht. Okay. Then there is a car. Oh, scooter. My father used to drive scooter. Then there is one more ship. Okay. Then there is a bicycle. Child might say that I ride bicycle. So again, for holiday theme, this is the NTR sheet manipulative that you have. Please give it to the children. This will again help them identify the modes of, travel and match them with the kinds of vehicles that we use. And the last theme is again, I believe, the magnetic board. And the last theme is seasons. So we will introduce the seasons. What all you do in winter season? Probably. Oh, we do. We sit in bonfire, around the bonfire. Okay. And can you recognize which season is this? This is my favorite season. Which season is this? Can anyone please tell? Which season is this? This is rainy season. Yes. What all we do in rainy season? I eat bhutta. What do you like to eat? You like to eat pakode? I like to eat bhutta. I like to drink coffee. I like to drink a lot of chai at times. And yeah, a lot of, fried stuff. I know it's bad, but I do that. Then you have summer season. In summer season, ice cream. Okay. Or baraf ka gola sometimes, okay, or you wear light clothes, so you talk about that, you do a picture talk, you do what you like to do, how much we should do, etc. We like mangoes, yes, cold drinks, but less of it, okay, juices, correct. So yeah, this was the last theme of, let's say, we have so many cutouts for this. There are about 9 which you can display and talk about it. Okay. So yeah. And these are, again, if you see all these, magnetic cutouts, they have 4 magnetic spots. 2, basically they get stuck very firmly on the magnetic board. They have rounded edges so that they don't hurt children. Okay, very carefully we got it designed. Now, everything is extremely safe for the children, but of course, when you use it in the classroom, you still will have to take care, because kids being kids can do anything. Okay, so you'll have to be, slightly mindful how they use. They should not throw material at someone. They should be kind and gentle when they deal with this stuff or share with their peers, because using these manipulatives in groups, small groups, will also teach them about qualities of sharing, cooperation, learning, in a group, etc. So all these things will also, all these general traits will also develop when they do these kind of things. So this was all from my side. I think I have explained to you how to explain the plants theme, herbs, shrubs, ma'am. Please go take them in the playground in your own school, where you will find the shrubs also, herbs also, and trees also. So obviously there are so many concepts sometimes in a particular theme, maybe more than 1 or 2, which is fine. We have chosen the biggest concept, which will be difficult to teach without these manipulatives that we have provided. Some of the things, of course, you can manage on your own. You can make your own manipulatives also, or you can just by virtue of the environment that you have in the schools, that is also doable. Thank you so much. Before you leave, you have to give me, let's say, one word for this activity kit. How did you find the activity kit? Just type one word, and will you use it or not? Okay.
Lot of learning with you, ma'am. For yes, I also learn a lot from you. See, from Doha to Maharashtra to Chhattisgarh to Haryana to Punjab, so many people have joined, and some of the people, I saw it from Delhi NCR only. One of the teachers were from Ghaziabad. I thought maybe she had seen me somewhere. I'm from Noida, so yeah. I mean, I feel very, very good. Extremely happy to be connected with all of you. Okay, you're saying informative, excellent, awesome, magic. Okay, magic will be when you will use it in the class with your tiny dots. Kids will show you magic. You will see how they use it. Okay. Informative session. Okay, yes. I also take back a lot of learning after every session. You're from Orissa. Okay, okay, I got that. Thank you so much for joining up from across the country. And these kind of platforms, they help me connect with all my dear teachers, and this keeps us motivated. I will try my best along with Sparsh and my team that will continue to serve you better. In case you have more queries, please go back to your excellence managers and they will resolve the queries. In case you have right now also any questions, queries, you may put your queries in the chat box. We will try to answer. That's all from my end. Thank you, Shalini and Poonam. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am. It seems that teachers are quite happy today to know about the welcome kit, and there are no queries. They really liked today's webinar, and what is in it? Okay. All are thanking you, ma'am. So thank you very much for today's webinar, and we look forward to know more from you. Thank you, teachers, for joining on time, and please fill the feedback form at the end of the webinar. And hopefully, you have put in the correct email addresses while registering yourselves for this webinar, so that you can get your certificates in your email. So we are signing off for the day, as we do not see any queries here. Keep joining the rest of the webinars. We will keep sharing the links with you, and also encourage the students to join the summer camp. Thank you so much. You all have a pleasant evening ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There was a question in the chat box. Somebody asked, why do we include shapes in the EVS? So when you come in touch with your immediate environment, everything has a shape. Therefore, although I understand from where you're coming, you're saying that shapes is probably a pre-maths concept, which is also right. But in your environment, you see every day a lot of shapes. Your door is in a shape of rectangle, your probably windows in the shape of square or a rectangle. So children do observe shapes in their immediate environment. Therefore shapes also form a part of integral environment, their immediate environment. Therefore shapes are in EVS as well. I hope that answers. Somebody asked this question.
There's one ma'am, Monty ma'am. She has raised her hand. Ma'am, please put in your question in the chat box, if you can. Daksha Mystery. Whose name would you
Beginner's
like to
kit,
know?
ma'am. Beginner's kit is totally the same. The almost the elements are totally same. Because of paucity of time, I just opened two. It's almost the same, ma'am. It just has the same magnetic board, letters to be stuck, numbers to be stuck on the board, and similarly for each theme. There you have just four themes. So for all four themes, you have something or the other, and this kind of material only. There the shapes will be circle, square, rectangle, and triangle. Those are the shapes, and similar stuff, ma'am. Not very different. Somebody's
Teachers,
asking from where do they get feedback from.
Once you exit the
Sham.
webinar, you will get a link for the feedback form. Just click on that link.
All right.
Don't worry.
Thank you. Have a very, very
Thank you
good
so much.
evening, pleasant evening ahead. All of you, if you are having your holidays, please enjoy and come back rejuvenated back in the schools to teach your kids in the classrooms. Maybe someday we meet in your school. I keep going to schools at times for visits. Maybe someday I'll meet some of you. Okay. See you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sparsh, and thank you, Deepa ma'am. Teachers,
Most
I am repeating, you will get the feedback form link once you exit the webinar.